Welcome to the Colour Pencil Workshop. For this you will need a reference image, some colour pencils and a surface to work on. Card or cartridge paper is best, but if you haven't got any, recycled card such as Amazon packaging is fine too. We're going to start with some do's and don'ts. Don't press too hard and don't rush. You'll never get the right result by doing that. Instead, what we need you to do is take your time and be in control. Work with small movements, mainly with a circular motion, which is what you can see happening here. Try and keep your pencil pressure even. You don't want to have any sudden dark areas or too light areas. You can build up your colour gradually. That way you are in control of how much colour you apply. If you want to go darker, you go over that area more often. If you want to keep it light, you go over it less often. By doing this, you can create what we call a graduated tone, like this one here. Now pause this video and have a go yourself. Once you've mastered the graduated tone, you can then start working on blended colours. You start this by applying your base colour. You then need to choose your second colour that you want to blend into it. You can have two or more colours, that's up to you. You then lightly work it into the area that you need it to be in your picture. Here you can see I'm blending one colour into another so they gradually fade from blue to purple. So you can see from this diagram there are two ways of working that are nicer to look at than the crossed out messy way. Just another thing to be aware of, some colour pencils are water soluble, which means once you've applied the pigment to the paper you can dilute it and blend it out with water. It will give you the same effect as a watercolour paint would, and I've put a watercolour example there so you can see what I mean. Now it's time to put some more skills into action. This time we are going to apply a watercolour wash. This is to apply a base colour, which we will work on top of with colour pencil once it is dry. It's important to let the paint completely dry, as we don't want to make the paper have a hole in it when we work on top of it. If it's damp, you might rip the paper. Okay, here we're going to start using even tone. We don't want to make the colour pencils lighter or darker in any areas, so we're going to try and keep our pencil as even as possible across the page. Remember not to press too hard and not to rush. Best way of working is to build up your tone gradually and apply even amounts of pressure. Try not to leave any gaps. We don't want to see white streaks underneath the colour, and try and stay within the lines. This is the skill you need to master before you can do anything more technical. Why not pause the video here, sketch out your image and shade it in using flat, even tone. Now that you've mastered shading with flat, even tone, you're ready to start adding detail to your drawing. When you're adding detail on top of colour, you do it in the same way that you would when you're blending two colours together. Remember that you try and build up the layers of colour gradually. Don't press too hard. If you press too hard, you'll pucker the paper and it will ruin the quality of your drawing. When working on different surfaces, you'll get a different kind of quality from your pencil. Here I'm using some Amazon packaging, but any cardboard works well, particularly that from a cereal box. The same process will apply. Just remember not to press too hard because the cardboard is a little bit softer and will make a hole or indent very easily. Here you can see we are back on the watercolour surface that we prepared earlier, and we treat this in a similar way to the way that we would do if we'd put colour pencil as a layer first. Build up your colours gradually. Don't worry too much if you leave gaps between them because the underneath colour will come through. There you go, 3 different techniques using the same colour pencils, each one giving you a different effect. Which one will you try?